So in this video, I will be talking about the manager's statement, the beverage manager's statement, a little bit of the security guard statement, and the connection to the dock area and the roof area, which we haven't actually explored at all, I don't think, the roof area. And the dock area, we haven't looked at enough. I will also be connecting the parking lot and those bridges that connect to the buildings around the Crown Plaza from that parking garage. So yeah, I'll be looking at that and showing some things that don't make any sense. So tell me what you think after. Okay, so this is the manager's statement, and you can see that it says that he searched the back kitchen while patrol officers were searching the dock area and roof areas. So what I'm saying here is that the manager implies that he knows that they're searching the roof area. I found that the access point to the roof, which I will show you, but he knew they were not where he was. Okay, that's why he checked the kitchen. That was his way of getting to the kitchen and checking it and knowing no one was there. Okay, it then says he first checked a walk-in cooler. So the first thing he did was check the cooler. So we know he went straight to that cooler. He knew something was up with that cooler. We knew that. There was a office area that he walked past, doesn't even glance at. He doesn't even look right. Okay, he goes straight to the cooler. So why? He even accidentally kind of subconsciously says it. He first checked the cooler. That was the first thing that was on his mind to check. That's why he says it. It says at the bottom, he believed that a contractor may have been in the kitchen earlier in the day on Friday. This is why I'm saying that the Caddyshack is so important, because whoever built that and renovated that could have a link possibly, or be at least a suspect to the death of Kenneka. They haven't been questioned at all, and he said that they could have been in that kitchen that day. None of them have been questioned. So when people say, why is the Caddyshack so important, this is why. So I don't want anyone coming to my channel and being confused with it when I talk about it. It is very important. It's not all about seeing Maneetha's face. There's nothing new that's going to pop up. She's dead. So let's just leave all of that there and let's get to what is really going to actually find justice. I asked him what his reaction was to finding the body in the freezer. He stated that he had never found a body and was extremely nervous. He thought that the police officer Walsh, searching the area, was behind him when he entered the cooler. When he noticed that he was not behind him, he had already located the victim and went outside of the unit to bring the officer toward the walk-in cooler and freezer. He didn't ask him about any police officers, if they was around him. That is just to make it look like it was legit, that he thought that the police officer was behind him. He thought that the security guard was behind him. Okay, the security guard was with him. In the police officer's statement, one of them, he does say that the security guard comes out of the building. Okay, and that's when he says something to the police officer, and then he looks over to the manager, and the manager's waving him in because he's just found her body. He's come from the same place as that manager. Okay, he doesn't mention any of this in his statement. Security guard doesn't mention any of this. Okay, and the manager doesn't mention that the security guard is with him. We do see them together at certain points within the footage. Okay, so they do work together in certain ways. So the fact that the security guard was there in the right place at the right time also is suspicious. Okay, and we all know what I've just explained about how off that manager is with finding her body. So at the moment, this is looking a bit wrong here. This is looking odd. Okay, between the manager and the security guard. They look like they're looking out for each other. That's what it looks like. It looks like the security guard was looking out for the manager. He went outside before the manager did. He knew what was going on at that time. He knew there was a body in that freezer, in my opinion. So, yeah, think about that for a minute. It says, I spoke with PSO Walsh, who advised while he was outside of the hotel checking the area near the loading dock, one of the hotel security members, later identified as so-and-so, came outside and said something to him, but he could not hear what he said. Okay, so he came out of the building from the dock area. That's where the police officer says that he was. He was in the dock area. It then says that Walsh advised he looked in the direction of the manager and saw he was waving him over. Okay, so he basically looked in the direction that he walked from. Okay, and then it says PSO Walsh said he walked towards the manager and he said to him, "Scared the hell out of me." That was his first reaction of seeing the body. Not he was nervous. It was more, this looks more like I'm trying to look like I'm scared, but I'm not. He has to say he was scared. He shouldn't have to say that. Okay, you would look scared and you would just say, "I found her body. Let's go. And let me show you her body." He plays a little game, as you can see in the right in this statement. It says here, PSO Walsh said he looked scared and he asked the manager what scared him. PSO Walsh said the manager started to walk inside to the kitchen area to show him what he was referring to. PSO Walsh said he stopped the manager to figure out what he was talking about and asked him if somebody was in the kitchen. The manager advised there was. Okay, at that point where he said that, he should have said, "Yes, I found her body," not that somebody was in the kitchen. Why is he playing a game? He then says PSO Walsh asked if there was somebody walking around or if he had seen a body. Come on now. By now you should have told him, you know. The manager, where am I going to go from? I'm going to go from, the manager stopped and just pointed towards the caller. Okay? So he just stopped in the kitchen. He didn't even say. And if you go on to the bit at the bottom where it says, he stated when he opened the freezer door, he immediately saw what appeared to be a woman lying on the floor facing the door. PSO Walsh said at that time is when he advised dispatch that he had located the female. Okay, so he didn't tell him. He went in there and basically discovered her, to be honest, in the freezer. He didn't really say too much. Okay, so he's showing a little bit of detachment, which is something you do see when people know more than what they're saying. Even the fact that like I said, the security guard comes out of the building, he was watching out for him. Remember I said he went in that kitchen through a different door while the others were searching the roof and the outside dock area. He did that while they were doing that. He made sure. Okay. He doesn't say in any of, the security guard doesn't say in any of his statement that he had this encounter outside in the dock area with the police officer or any connection to the manager in the dock area. Okay, so when we look at the Crown Plaza, pay attention to these bridges that lead from the buildings around the Crown Plaza that connect to other buildings, because that potentially means they're all connected in some way. Okay, even the Stevens Centre, there's a connection. Okay, there's also these little side bits that no one's paid attention to. Okay, and there's no surveillance on the outside of the building apart from the rare car park footage. There is an employee parking camera which they say isn't working, which I believe would make sense to be in this area. This is the dock. The door would be here and an opening would be here. She was found around here, which is why I say this area is very important and we need to pay more attention to. When we go down and we look inside, well, we look at the parking area, okay?
I don't know why it goes inside the building, but we'll get back out. Okay, so this is obviously the parking lot. You can see how easy it is to get from this multi-story parking lot into the Crowne Plaza parking lot. This is the Crowne Plaza parking lot. Obviously, you can see, okay? The dock area would be literally around this corner. So you could easily enter this car park or leave this car park into this building, and no one knows where you've come from. No one knows where you're going. If you go into this parking garage, into your car and drive off, no one's even seen your number plate or knows what car, unless obviously they investigate their surveillance. When I go out, you'll see how important it is. We literally, on this, where we were just standing, was roughly here. We was looking this way. The gap for this parking lot is here. You could walk straight through. The door to the Kosher Kitchen from the dock area is here, and there's an opening here. She was found roughly here. This area is majorly important, so is the side bits, and so are the bridges.
And just for reference, this would be where you would enter, get access to the roof area from the Crowne Plaza. It is next to the pool area. You would have the pool area to the right, and what would have been the grill rest, which is now the caddy shack, would be to the left. So yeah, somewhere around there is where the access point to the roof would be.